Ladies and gentlemen, life is not a straight path, nor is it always fair. It challenges us, breaks us, and sometimes leaves us questioning our own worth. But in these very moments of struggle, we have a choice: to give up or to rise, to be a victim or to be the hero of our own story. I want you to close your eyes for a moment and imagine yourself as the protagonist of a grand adventure, an adventure filled with hardships, losses, and trials, but also one where you emerge victorious, not because you never fell, but because you refuse to stay down. There will be days when the world will tell you that you are not enough. There will be people who will doubt your abilities, underestimate your strength, and try to define you by your failures. But the truth is, no one gets to write your story except you. You are not the mistakes you've made. You are not the scars you carry. You are the resilience, the hope, and the courage to turn the page and begin again. Heroes are not those who never fall. They are those who stand up every time they do. They are not those who have everything figured out, but those who dare to walk even when the path is uncertain. So, embrace your struggles, own your scars, and let them remind you of how far you have come. The power to change your life, to shape your destiny, lies within you. You don't need a cape or superpowers to be a hero. You just need to believe in yourself, because you are already stronger than you think. Life is a journey filled with twists, turns, challenges, and victories. Every person who walks this earth carries a unique story, one that is written with every decision they make, every challenge they face, and every triumph they achieve. Too often we allow others to hold the pen, to dictate how our lives should unfold, or to tell us what we are capable of. But the truth is, no one else has the right to write your story. You are the author of your own life, and you hold the power to shape your destiny. From the moment we are born, we are given a blank page. The world around us begins to influence what we write. Family, culture, society, and experiences shape the way we think and the choices we make. Many of us grow up believing that life happens to us, rather than realizing that we have the ability to shape our own narrative. We listen to the voices that tell us what is possible and what is not. We fear stepping outside the lines because we are afraid of judgment or failure. But here is the reality: if you do not take control of your own story, someone else will. How many times have we allowed fear to hold us back? How often have we silenced our own dreams because someone told us they were impossible? Think about all the things you wished to do, but never pursued because you were afraid of failure. The world is full of opinions, and if we are not careful, we allow those opinions to become our limitations. We stop dreaming because we are told that our dreams are too big. We stop trying because we are told that success is reserved for the lucky ones. But let me tell you something, there is no lucky when it comes to writing your story. There is only courage, persistence, and the willingness to believe in yourself even when the world tells you otherwise. Some of the greatest people in history were told they could not achieve what they set out to do. Famous authors were rejected by publishers. Musicians were told they had no talent. And visionaries were told their ideas were impossible. But they refused to let someone else dictate the outcome of their story. They picked up their pen, rewrote their narrative, and changed the world. If they had listened to the voices of doubt, we would not have some of the greatest inventions, books, music, or art that inspire us today. One of the biggest obstacles in writing your own story is the fear of failure. We often think that making mistakes means we are not good enough, that failing means we should stop trying. But failure is not the end of the story, it is simply a plot twist. Every great story has moments of struggle, times when the hero falls, when everything seems lost. But what makes a hero truly great is their ability to rise, to keep going, and to rewrite their fate despite the challenge. Imagine if you could look at your failures not as defeats, but as stepping stones towards success. Every mistake teaches you something. Every setback prepares you for a greater comeback. The people who achieve great things in life are not the ones who never fail, but the ones who never stop trying. They do not let a single chapter define their entire story. They understand that just because they have faced difficulties does not mean their journey is over. Another challenge we face in writing our own story is comparison. We look at other people's lives and believe that their journey is somehow more meaningful or successful than ours. We measure our worth based on someone else's achievements, forgetting that every story is unique. The truth is, you are not meant to walk the same path as anyone else. You are not supposed to have the same experiences, the same timing, or the same success. Your journey is yours alone, and comparing it to someone else's only takes away from the beauty of your own story. It is important to remember that you are constantly evolving. The person you were yesterday is not the person you are today, and who you will become tomorrow is shaped by the choices you make now. Sometimes we hold on to past mistakes, allowing them to define us. We believe that we are not worthy of success, happiness, or love because of things we regret. But no matter how many times you have stumbled, no matter how many wrong turns you have taken, you always have the power to start a new chapter. The pen is in your hands. You do not have to live according to someone else's expectations. You do not have to follow a path that does not bring you joy. You do not have to settle for a life that does not fulfill you. Every single day, you have the chance to choose a different direction, to rewrite the narrative, to decide how your story unfolds. Think about the kind of life you want to create. What are your dreams? What makes your heart come alive? What do you want to be remembered for? Too often, we suppress our deepest desires because we are afraid of what others will think. But living a life that is not true to yourself is the greatest regret of all. When you look back at your story, you will not remember the people who doubted you. You will remember the moments when you took a leap of faith, when you chose courage over fear, when you stood up and declared that you were in charge of your own destiny. Being the author of your own story means taking responsibility for your life. It means understanding that while you cannot control everything that happens to you, you can control how you respond. There will be hardships, losses, and moments of pain, but even in the darkest times, you have the power to find meaning. You have the ability to turn pain into purpose, to transform obstacles into opportunities, and to create a narrative of strength and resilience. It is never too late to rewrite your story. If you are unhappy with the way things are, change them. If you feel stuck, take a step forward. If you feel lost, remember that every great story begins with uncertainty. The most beautiful journeys are the ones where the hero faces adversity but refuses to give up. You have a voice, and it deserves to be heard. You have dreams, and they deserve to be pursued. You have a story, and it deserves to be written the way you want it to be. Do not let the world tell you who you should be. Do not let fear keep you from living fully. Do not let past mistakes define your future. You are the author. The pages are waiting. Pick up the pen and write the story you are meant to live. Failures are an inevitable part of life. They come in different forms, sometimes small and fleeting, other times crushing and overwhelming. Yet, in our lowest moments, when we feel as though we have hit rock bottom, we often forget one crucial truth. Failures do not define us. What defines us is how we respond, how we rise, and how we turn those failures into stepping stones for something greater. From the time we're young, we are taught to fear failure. In school, a bad grade feels like a mark of shame. In careers, a rejected application or a failed project seems like an indication that we are not good enough. In relationships, a heartbreak can make us feel like we are unworthy of love. Society has conditioned us to believe that success is everything and failure is something to be ashamed of. But what if we looked at failure differently? What if, instead of seeing it as an ending, we saw it as a lesson, a detour, or even an opportunity? Failure is not a reflection of who you are as a person. It is not a label that defines your worth or your potential. It is simply an event, a moment in time that holds within it the power to teach, to shape, and to strengthen you. The most successful people in history have failed repeatedly. The world's greatest innovators, leaders, and visionaries have faced setbacks that would have made others quit. The difference is that they refused to let failure be the final chapter of their story. They understood that failure is not the opposite of success, it is a part of it. Consider some of the most well-known figures who have failed before achieving greatness. Thomas Edison, the man who gave the world the electric light bulb, failed thousands of times before he succeeded. When asked about his failures, he simply stated that he had not failed. He had just found thousands of ways that did not work. Imagine if he had given up after his first few attempts. Imagine if he had allowed failure to define him instead of using it as a tool for learning and growth. J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series, was rejected by multiple publishers before her book was finally accepted. At the time, she was a struggling single mother living in poverty. She could have let those rejections convince her that she was not good enough. But instead, she kept going. She believed in her story, in her dreams, and in her ability to create something meaningful. Today, her books have inspired millions, proving that failure was never the end of her journey. It was just a step along the way. Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players of all time, was cut from his high school basketball team. Imagine how he must have felt in that moment. Disappointed, embarrassed, perhaps even questioning whether he should keep playing. But instead of letting that failure define him, he used it as motivation. He trained harder, pushed himself further, and ultimately became a legend in the sport. His story is a powerful reminder that setbacks do not determine your destiny. Your response to them does. Failure can feel personal, especially when it is tied to something we care deeply about. When we fail at something we have worked hard for, it can feel like a reflection of our abilities, our intelligence, or even our worth. But failure is not a statement about who we are, it is simply feedback. It tells us what did not work, what needs improvement, and what we can do differently next time. It is a chance to grow, to adapt, and to come back stronger. Often, the fear of failure is what holds us back the most. We become so afraid of making mistakes that we stop taking risks. We stay in our comfort zones, avoiding challenges because we do not want to face the possibility of failing. But in doing so, we also miss out on the chance to grow. Playing it safe may keep us from experiencing failure, but it also keeps us from achieving greatness. Every breakthrough, every achievement, and every moment of success begins with the willingness to take a risk, knowing that failure might be part of the journey. Failure also has a way of revealing what truly matters to us. When we fail at something and still feel the desire to try again, it is a sign that we are passionate about it. It means that despite the difficulties, despite the obstacles, it is something worth pursuing. Many people give up after a single failure, assuming that it means they were never meant to succeed. But the ones who persist, who keep going, even after falling time and time again, are the ones who ultimately achieve their dreams. There is also another aspect of failure that we rarely acknowledge. It builds resilience. Every time we fail and get back up, we become stronger. We learn to handle disappointment, to manage setbacks, and to keep moving forward despite the challenges. Life is unpredictable and setbacks are inevitable. But when we develop resilience, we are no longer afraid of failure. We no longer see it as an end, but as a stepping stone toward success. It is important to remember that everyone's journey is different. Some people achieve success quickly, while others take longer. Some face multiple failures before reaching their goals, while others experience smooth progress. But no matter how long it takes or how many obstacles you face, failure does not mean you are not capable. It does not mean you are not good enough. It simply means that you are human and that you are on the path of growth. Think about a child learning to walk. When a baby takes their first steps and falls, do we call them a failure? Do we tell them to stop trying? Of course not. We encourage them to get back up and try again. We celebrate their effort, knowing that every fall brings them closer to walking on their own. The same principle applies to every aspect of life. Failure is not a sign to stop. It is a sign to keep going. One of the most powerful ways to redefine failure is to change the way we talk about it. Instead of saying, I failed, try saying, I learned. Instead of saying, I am not good enough, say, I am growing. The words we use shape the way we see ourselves. If we constantly associate failure with negativity, we will always fear it. But if we see it as a natural part of the journey, as a necessary experience for growth, we can begin to embrace it rather than run from it. Failure also has a way of redirecting us. Sometimes what seems like a failure is actually life guiding us towards something better. There are countless stories of people who thought they had failed, only to later realize that their setback led them to something greater than they had ever imagined. Perhaps a failed business leads to an even better idea. Perhaps a rejected opportunity opens the door to something more fulfilling. Sometimes, the things we see as failures are actually blessings in disguise. So, the next time you fail, remember this: it is not the end. It does not define you. It is merely a chapter in your story, a lesson to be learned, a moment to grow. Every great success is built on a foundation of failures. Every strong person has faced adversity, and every dream worth pursuing comes with challenges that test our determination. You are not your failures, you are not your mistakes. You are the person who keeps going, who keeps learning, and who refuses to give up. You have the power to rise, to rewrite your story, and to prove that failure was never the final destination. It was just part of the journey towards something greater. Strength is not something that appears overnight. It is not a trait that people are simply born with, nor is it something that can be handed to us. True strength is forged in the fires of struggle. It is built through adversity, shaped by challenges and refined by the trials we endure. Every hardship, every obstacle, and every painful moment has the potential to make us stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Yet, in the midst of struggle, it is often difficult to see the growth happening within us. We tend to view struggles as burdens rather than opportunities, as setbacks rather than stepping stones. However, if we look closely, we will realize that every challenge we have faced has contributed to the person we are today. Life is unpredictable. No one is immune to difficulties, and no one goes through life without experiencing pain. Some people face financial hardships, struggling to make ends meet while trying to build a better future. Others experience the pain of loss, the weight of grief, or the heartache of broken relationships. Many battle their own inner demons, fighting against self-doubt, fear, and uncertainty. Regardless of the form it takes, struggle is a universal experience. But what sets people apart is not whether they face struggles, but how they respond to them. Some allow difficulties to break them, while others use them as fuel to become stronger. Struggle has a way of revealing our inner strength, even when we do not realize it is there. Often, people do not know how strong they truly are until they are tested. It is in the moments of hardship that we discover our ability to persevere, to adapt, and to rise above the circumstances that try to bring us down. Strength is not found in comfort or ease. It is developed through the process of overcoming challenges. Just like a muscle grows stronger when it is pushed beyond its limits, we grow stronger when we are forced to navigate difficulties and find a way forward. Consider a person who has experienced failure time and time again. They may feel discouraged, exhausted, and tempted to give up, but if they keep going, if they keep pushing despite the setbacks, they will build resilience. They will learn valuable lessons about perseverance, patience, and the power of persistence. Over time, they will develop a strength that cannot be shaken by temporary defeat. They will come to understand that struggle is not a sign of weakness, but rather a necessary step in the journey towards success. Adversity teaches us lessons that comfort never could. When everything in life is going smoothly, there is little motivation to grow or improve. It is in moments of difficulty that we are forced to dig deep, to find creative solutions, and to develop skills we never knew we had. A person who has never faced hardship may not know how to handle unexpected challenges, but someone who has struggled and overcome obstacles has already built the resilience needed to navigate future difficulties. Struggle also has a way of shaping our character. It humbles us, reminding us that we are not invincible and that life is full of uncertainties. It teaches us empathy, allowing us to connect with others who are facing similar challenges. When we experience pain, we gain a deeper understanding of what others go through, making us more compassionate and understanding. Strength is not just about enduring struggles ourselves. It is also about using our experiences to uplift and inspire others. History is filled with stories of people who turned their struggles into sources of strength. Some of the most influential figures in the world have faced immense hardships before achieving greatness. Nelson Mandela endured decades of imprisonment, yet he emerged stronger and more determined than ever to fight for justice. Helen Keller, despite being deaf and blind, overcame her struggles to become an inspiration to millions. Oprah Winfrey rose from a childhood of poverty and adversity to become one of the most successful and influential women in the world. These individuals did not allow their struggles to define them. Instead, they used their challenges as a foundation for their strength. Even in our own lives, we can see how struggle has shaped us. Think back to a time when you faced a difficult situation. Perhaps it was a failure, a heartbreak, or a moment when everything seemed to fall apart. At the time, it may have felt unbearable, but looking back, you can likely see how it contributed to your growth. Maybe it taught you resilience, helped you discover a strength you did not know you had, or led you to a better path. Struggle often forces us to change, and while change can be painful, it is also necessary for growth. There is a certain beauty in struggle, though it may not be apparent at first. The most breathtaking mountains were formed through pressure, the strongest trees have roots that have weathered countless storms, and the most valuable diamonds were created under intense heat. Likewise, the strongest people are those who have endured challenges and refused to give up. They are the ones who have been tested, who have faced hardships, and who have emerged on the other side with a deeper understanding of their own strength. One of the most important things to remember about struggle is that it is temporary. No storm lasts forever, no night is endless, and no challenge is permanent. When we are in the midst of hardship, it can feel like there is no way out. It can feel as though the weight of our struggles will never be lifted. But time has a way of healing wounds, of revealing solutions, and of showing us that we are capable of overcoming more than we ever imagined. What once seemed impossible eventually becomes a distant memory, a testament to our strength and perseverance. Strength is not about never feeling pain or never experiencing hardship. It is about facing those difficulties head-on and choosing to keep going despite the challenges. It is about finding courage in moments of fear, hope in moments of despair, and resilience in moments of weakness. Every struggle we face is an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to become a stronger version of ourselves. In the end, our struggles do not break us, they shape us. They prepare us for the battles ahead, equip us with the tools we need to navigate life's uncertainties, and remind us of our own resilience. The path to strength is not easy, but it is worth it. Through struggle, we find the power within ourselves to rise, to overcome, and to become the person we were meant to be. Life is a journey filled with highs and lows, triumphs and defeats, moments of joy and times of despair. No one is exempt from falling. At some point, every person faces setbacks, heartbreaks, failures, and disappointments. Falling is inevitable, but what truly defines us is not how many times we fall, it is how many times we rise after each fall. Strength, resilience, and growth come not from avoiding failure, but from embracing it as a stepping stone to success. Falling can take many forms. It might be the rejection of a dream job after years of hard work, the end of a cherished relationship, a business collapsing, or a personal goal slipping away despite countless efforts. In those moments, it is easy to feel defeated, to believe that all efforts were in vain, and to be tempted to give up. But the truth is, falling is not the end. It is simply a test of determination. Rising again is where real transformation happens. Every time you fall, you gain something valuable. Failure teaches lessons that success never could. It builds strength, sharpens perspective, and provides the opportunity to grow beyond previous limitations. When things go smoothly, there is little reason to change or improve. It is in adversity that we learn, adapt, and push ourselves to do better. Each fall forces us to reflect, to identify what went wrong, and to find ways to rise stronger. Consider a child learning to walk. With each step they take, they stumble and fall. They cry, they struggle, but they always get back up. They never stop trying, and eventually they master the art of walking. Imagine if a child gave up after the first fall, deciding that walking was too difficult. Growth would never happen. In many ways, life works the same way. Falling is a natural part of learning and evolving. Just like a child who keeps trying until they walk confidently, we too must keep rising every time we fall. The greatest success stories are built on a foundation of failures. Many of the most influential people in history have faced unimaginable setbacks before achieving greatness. Thomas Edison, the inventor of the light bulb, failed thousands of times before he finally succeeded. If he had given up after his first few failures, the world might never have known the light bulb. Each failure was not an indication that he was incapable, but rather a necessary step toward innovation. Walt Disney, the man behind some of the most beloved stories ever told, was fired from a job early in his career because his employer believed he lacked creativity. His first business venture failed, and he faced rejection multiple times before finally building what is now a multi-billion-dollar empire. He did not let failure define him. Instead, he chose to rise every time he fell, and his persistence turned his dreams into reality. The same is true for Oprah Winfrey, who was once told she was unfit for television. She could have let that rejection shatter her confidence, but she refused to accept failure as the final verdict on her abilities. Instead, she worked harder, rose above the criticism, and became one of the most influential media personalities in the world. Her success is proof that rising after a fall can lead to unimaginable heights. Failure is not a sign of weakness, it is a testament to effort. The only people who never fail are those who never try. To attempt something great, to pursue dreams, and to challenge oneself means taking the risk of falling. But with every fall comes the opportunity to stand up stronger, wiser, and more determined than before. There is no shame in falling, only in refusing to rise again. Rising after a fall requires resilience. It is easy to let disappointment take control, to allow failure to plant seeds of self-doubt. But true resilience is the ability to push past discouragement and continue moving forward. It is understanding that setbacks are temporary, that failure does not define one's worth, and that perseverance is the key to success. Resilience is a skill, and like any skill, it is developed through practice. Every time a person chooses to get back up after falling, they become stronger, more resilient, and better equipped to face future challenges. Fear of falling often holds people back from taking risks. The possibility of failure can be intimidating, leading many to stay in their comfort zones, avoiding challenges to prevent disappointment. But in doing so, they also avoid growth. The most fulfilling achievements come from overcoming obstacles, from proving to oneself that rising after a fall is always possible. Life's greatest opportunities are often on the other side of fear, and the only way to reach them is by taking the leap, even if it means risking failure. One of the most powerful aspects of rising after a fall is the confidence it builds. Each time a person overcomes adversity, they gain a deeper belief in their own strength. They realize that they are capable of handling difficulties, that setbacks do not break them, and that they have the power to shape their own future. Confidence is not about never failing. It is about knowing that failure will never stop you. Rising is also about perspective. In the moment, a fall may seem like the end of the world, but with time, many past struggles become lessons, even blessings. What once felt like a devastating failure may later be seen as a redirection towards something better. Many people look back at their greatest challenges and realize that those struggles led them to opportunities they never would have considered otherwise. Every person has the strength within them to rise. It may take time, it may require effort, and it may not happen instantly, but no fall is permanent unless one chooses to stay down. Rising after a fall is a decision, a commitment to oneself, that no setback will be strong enough to keep them from moving forward. It is a declaration that failure is just a chapter, not the whole story. Some of the best moments in life come after the hardest falls. The sense of achievement that comes from overcoming a challenge, the joy of reaching a goal that once seemed impossible, and the growth that comes from adversity make every struggle worthwhile. Rising is not just about getting back to where one started. It is about using failure as a foundation to build something even greater. Life will continue to test each person in different ways. There will be times of doubt, moments of exhaustion, and days when rising seems impossible. But even in the darkest moments, strength is found in the simple act of trying again. It is in taking one step forward, no matter how small, and refusing to let failure win. No one is alone in their struggles. Every person, no matter how successful or strong they appear, has faced moments of doubt and defeat. The difference is that they chose to rise every time they fell. And that choice is available to everyone. The journey of life is not about never falling. It is about always finding the courage to rise again. No failure is final, no setback is permanent, and no fall can keep a person down unless they allow it to. Strength is not measured by the absence of failure, but by the determination to keep moving forward. Every fall is an opportunity, and every rise is proof of resilience. So no matter how many times you fall, rise again. Because your story is still being written, and the best chapters are yet to come. Believing in yourself is the foundation of everything you do in life. It is the driving force that pushes you to chase your dreams, overcome obstacles, and become the person you were meant to be. Without self-belief, even the greatest talents and ambitions remain unfulfilled. It is the difference between success and failure, between persistence and giving up, between a life fully lived and a life spent in doubt. When you believe in yourself, you open doors to possibilities that once seemed impossible. You gain the courage to take risks, the resilience to face challenges, and the strength to keep going even when things get tough. Self-belief is not something that is given to you, it is something you cultivate over time. It grows from experience, from facing adversity and coming out stronger, from proving to yourself that you are capable. But it is also a choice. Every day, you have the choice to believe in yourself or to let doubt control your actions. When you choose to believe, you set yourself on a path of growth, determination, and achievement. One of the most important aspects of self-belief is trusting your abilities. Many people underestimate what they are capable of because they focus too much on their weaknesses instead of their strengths. They compare themselves to others and convince themselves that they are not good enough. But the truth is, everyone has unique strengths, skills, and qualities that make them special. No one starts as an expert. Everyone begins as a beginner. The only way to improve is to believe that you can and to keep pushing forward despite setbacks. Doubt is a powerful force that can hold you back from achieving greatness. It creeps into your mind when you are about to take a big step, whispering all the reasons why you might fail. It reminds you of past mistakes and makes you question whether you are good enough. But doubt is just fear in disguise. It is the fear of failure, the fear of judgment, the fear of stepping outside of your comfort zone. The only way to silence doubt is to believe in yourself, more than you believe in your fears. When you trust yourself, you realize that failure is not something to be afraid of. It is simply a part of learning and growing. Believing in yourself means embracing challenges rather than avoiding them. It means stepping into the unknown with confidence, even when you are uncertain of the outcome. Every challenge is an opportunity to prove to yourself that you are stronger than you think. When you take on challenges with a mindset of self-belief, you begin to see them not as obstacles but as stepping stones. Even when things do not go as planned, you learn valuable lessons that help you grow. Self-belief also gives you the power to overcome criticism and negativity. Not everyone will support you, and not everyone will believe in your dreams. There will always be people who doubt you, who tell you that you are not capable, who try to bring you down. If you do not believe in yourself, it is easy to let their words affect you. But when you have strong self-belief, the opinions of others lose their power over you. You understand that your worth is not determined by what others think, but by what you believe about yourself. One of the greatest obstacles to self-belief is fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of not being good enough. Fear convinces people to stay in their comfort zones, to avoid taking risks, to settle for less than what they deserve. But fear is just an illusion. It has no real power unless you give it power. The only way to overcome fear is to take action despite it. When you take small steps forward, even when you are afraid, you begin to see that fear is not as powerful as it seems. Each step builds confidence, and confidence strengthens your belief in yourself. Believing in yourself also means setting goals and working toward them with determination. Goals give you direction and purpose. They push you to grow, to improve, to become better than you were yesterday. But without self-belief, goals can feel impossible to achieve. It is easy to give up when things get difficult if you do not truly believe you can succeed. However, when you believe in yourself, you develop the mindset that no goal is too big, no challenge is too great, and no obstacle is insurmountable. The journey of self-belief is not always easy. There will be moments of doubt, moments when things do not go as planned, moments when you feel like giving up. But in those moments, remind yourself of everything you have already overcome. Think about the times you faced challenges and came out stronger. Remember that every great achievement in history started with someone who believed in themselves, even when no one else did. Self-belief is not arrogance, it is confidence. It is not about thinking you are better than others. It is about knowing that you are capable and worthy. It is about recognizing your own potential and refusing to let doubt hold you back. When you believe in yourself, you inspire others to do the same. You become a source of motivation, a proof that anything is possible with the right mindset. One of the most powerful things about self-belief is that it is contagious. When you believe in yourself, you radiate confidence and others begin to believe in you too. People are drawn to those who have faith in themselves because self-belief is a sign of strength, determination, and passion. When you show the world that you believe in yourself, opportunities begin to appear, doors begin to open, and success becomes inevitable. It is important to surround yourself with people who support and encourage your self-belief. The people you spend time with have a significant impact on your mindset. If you are constantly surrounded by negativity, doubt, and discouragement, it becomes harder to believe in yourself. But when you surround yourself with positive, supportive people who uplift and inspire you, self-belief becomes easier to maintain. Choose to be around those who see your potential, who remind you of your strengths, and who push you to be the best version of yourself. Believing in yourself is a lifelong journey. It is not something that happens overnight, and it is not something that remains constant. There will be days when you feel unstoppable, and days when doubt tries to creep back in. But the key is to keep choosing self-belief, even on the hard days. Keep reminding yourself that you are capable, that you are strong, that you have what it takes to achieve your dreams. The world is full of endless possibilities, but those possibilities are only available to those who believe in themselves enough to pursue them. The people who change the world, who achieve greatness, who make a difference are not necessarily the most talented or the most gifted. They are the ones who refuse to give up on themselves. They are the ones who, despite failure, despite setbacks, despite challenges, continue to believe in their abilities. So believe in yourself, believe in your dreams, your abilities, your potential. Trust that you are capable of achieving everything you desire. Do not let fear, doubt, or the opinions of others hold you back. The only limits that exist are the ones you place on yourself. Break through those limits, rise above the doubts, and embrace the incredible power that comes with self-belief. Your journey is yours to create, and with belief in yourself, there is no limit to what you can accomplish. Believing in yourself is the key to unlocking your full potential and achieving greatness. It is the foundation upon which dreams are built, challenges are overcome, and success is realized. No matter how many obstacles stand in your way, how many times you face failure, or how much doubt tries to hold you back, your belief in yourself will determine your ability to rise and keep moving forward. Self-belief is not about never facing difficulties. It is about having the confidence to face them head-on. It is about trusting yourself even when others doubt you, pushing forward even when fear tries to stop you, and refusing to give up even when the journey feels impossible. The most successful people in the world are not those who never failed, but those who never allowed failure to define them. You are capable of more than you think. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to prove your strength. Every setback is a lesson, and every dream you hold is within reach. If you have the courage to chase it, the power to achieve everything you desire lies within you. It always has. The only thing standing between you and your dreams is the belief that you can make them a reality. So never stop believing in yourself. Keep pushing forward, keep striving for greatness, and never let doubt silence your potential. The world belongs to those who have the courage to believe in themselves, and that courage is already within you. Embrace it, trust it, and let it guide you toward the extraordinary future you deserve.